So, living human Tegus. I called that shit. I think around episode 4 or 5. I called that shit so freaking hard. So, Susanoo in this episode was introduced, and we find out he's one of our new members of Night Raid, and he is like a living organism Tegu. For instance, like he can regenerate, like that dog, that demonic dog that we saw, you know, the demonic justice that ate Chile. Oh. Anyways, pretty much, Susanoo in this episode was pretty fucking beast. When you saw Tatsumi's like, damn, I said the exact same thing, and no joke, it was like an odd coincidence. I was like, damn. When you see him kicking the shit out of everybody, you saw him like beating everybody's faces in, you saw the heads flying off, you saw the blood, I was like, dude, that is freaking too good. That is way too good, and your entrance is way too fucking epic for me to handle. Susanoo, by far, at this moment, has to be one of the most interesting Not Rain members so far. I mean, he's definitely an interesting character that was introduced this episode. I mean, damn, the way his design looks, like his horns, his outfit, his attire, everything looks just so beastly with him, and especially with his weapon. Oh my god. Just, the way he was displayed in this episode, he's a bit of a badass. I'm just gonna say that now. I mean, Susanoo is a bit of a badass in this episode, and since technically he could get chopped in half and be fine, we don't really have to worry about the entire reenactment of what happened to Shelley, so thank God. Actually, I find that very ironic how he gets, like, shot at and almost cut in half this episode, but everything is fine and he heals back. It's very ironic, you know, like, what happened to Shelley, you know, how she got torn into pieces. Well, the exact same thing technically happens to Susanoo in this episode, but he's all fine and dandy. You see him regenerate, so it's pretty funny how that works out. Now, this human, this new Night Raid member, Susanoo, is he straight out full Tegu? Like, for instance, is that just a living Tegu, human Tegu? Like, is it like that dog, that demonic dog? Or is it a human being that was born like a human, like Tatsumi or Akame, but had a Tegu attached to him and then turned him into what he is? I mean, I have a big question about that. Like, exactly how does those organism-type Tegus work? How do they get into the human? I mean, if he is, like, the Tegu, and let's say, for instance, like, the Tegu didn't go to his body and he wasn't born a regular human, well, that would mean he's been living for a very long time. He's a very old Tegu that's been living for a very long time, and so technically no one can control that Tegu. No one can at all. It's all up to him what he wants to do. For instance, you can't just have a random person pick up that Tegu and say, oh, it's mine now, because if it works like that, if the organism Tegu is actually a human and not like something else entirely, then the only way to get rid of that is by killing the Tegu or destroying the Tegu. So, yeah, big question right there. Now, overall, though, I like the episode. The episode was really good. It had a lot of wacky moments. Like, Dr. Stylish. Oh, Dr. Stylish. You know, I don't know if I'm the only one that thought of it, but Dr. Stylish reminded me a lot of Ocarina from Steins Gate. Now, did he not remind anyone else of that when he was, like, doing all Dr. Stylish and Mad Scientist mode, doing this and twitchy stuff? I was like, that is fucking Ocarina. I mean, seriously. I mean, a little bit more crazier and eviler, but I mean, he really reminds me of the Mad Scientist Ocarina. Now, Dr. Stylish as a character, he definitely is stylish. He definitely died stylish. And his men was definitely stylish. Now that I beat in the word stylish, let's talk about more stylish. So, the ending. He transforms into a danger beast, a stylish danger beast. And I was like, what the fuck? I was like, what the fuck? Like, he just injects his self with, like, this fluid, I'm guessing Danger Beast blood or something, an experimental fluid, and he transforms into this giant humanoid Danger Beast, and I'm like, is this fucking, like, Maggie, or is this, like, freaking, Toguro from Yu Yu Hakusho? Because, I mean, the entire bulkiness of him, I'm like, what the fuck? And dude, his body, man, it was just like, it was so weird when it first, like, started transforming, because it was just a fucking little tiny head, and you see this big macho body on it. I was like, yeah, he's definitely stylish. Yeah, that's all I was thinking. I was like, damn, he is styling. But after that, when you just see him transform and start eating his men, I'm like, this dude is pretty nasty. That's dirty out there. He's just eating his own men, devouring them, and he's like, he doesn't care about anything about his subordinates at all. He was just letting them die. He was blowing them up in this episode to try to kill Susanoo. I mean, he clearly was a bastard, an evil bastard. That's exactly what he was, and I'm kind of glad he died. I'm really glad he died, but I will kind of miss him a little bit, because he definitely had a different atmosphere about him I liked in this series. Now, I want to ask a quick question. This person that was killed, Dr. Stylish, technically was part of the Jaegers, if I'm correct. If I got all that entire introduction to the Jaegers correct, Dr. Stylish is part of the Jaeger team of SDEFs. So, Dr. Stylish is dead. He's fucked. He's dead. So, is this the actual strength of some of the Jaegers? Because Dr. Stylish, no offense, but he was a joke. He was a really joke in terms of power standpoint and all that. I mean, he had some crazy abilities and stuff, and his ideals were pretty weird, but I mean, he was incredibly weak. He was incredibly weak. So, a Jaeger falls because he got cocky. The big question is, why was he just so freaking stupid he wouldn't even tell, like, you know, Esdes or anybody? Like, why didn't he tell anyone that he was going to Night Raid? Because if you would have told his location to Esdes or whatever, imagine what would be going on now. Esdes and all the Jaegers would be coming straight towards Night Raid. So, overall, on the intelligence-wise of Dr. Stylish, I don't think he's that intelligent, because he left out a crucial mistake. He thought he won since the very beginning, but if you're a really intelligent person, you will know that there's always a possibility of failure, and should always make, you know, some form of conclusion of what could possibly happen if you do fail. So, I don't feel like Dr. Stylish was the most intelligent person, because if he was, he definitely would have told Esdes, and he would have definitely had backup before he died. So, I'm just going to say that right now. That's my words of thought. I don't know exactly why he said. There might be a reason why he didn't say nothing to Esdes, but that's just my opinion so far from the information that was given to me. Now, with Dr. Stylish dead or gone, most likely the Jaegers are going to need a new member, and probably Esdes is going to be very fucking pissed off or something, because, you know, her special task force just lost a fucking member after she tried to form a task force. So, she's not going to be in a very good mood. Definitely not, especially when he acted on by himself. So, I'm interested to see exactly what is going to happen after that. Now, the episode was just outright amazing. I love the animation in this episode, like Susanoo's animation, getting to see all the different fights in this episode, Extas, whatever that, you know, the scissor, I forget the name, it's like E-X-T-A-S-E, Extas, I think that's how you pronounce it. Well, whatever how you pronounce it, pretty much, it finally makes its way back to Night Raid. We get to see this weapon again in the enemy's hands, and Mine gets her revenge, technically, against the enemy, and she gets the Imperial arm back. So I was really happy to see that. It was a really emotional scene, because even though it was emotional in her eyes, she was able to overcome this emotional impact and actually defeat the enemy before her. So that also shows some character development with her character and show what type of personality she really has. Now, I can't wait to find out what's going to happen next episode, because this episode was fucking great, and I enjoyed it all around. It was an amazing episode. If I had to rate it, I would give it an 8.5 out of 10. So, tell me your thoughts in the comments below. I love all of you so much. You have a wonderful day or night wherever you live. Please be safe. Chibi out.